Good evening, all. Welcome back to our series in the seventh week, where we are going to talk about mapping herbal trials on WHO-ICTRP and ClinicalTrials.gov, where we are going to do the systematic review of trial registration across major international platforms. Um, I'd like to welcome Dr. Sriharan for conducting this session. Over to you, Dr. Sriharan. Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. Yeah.
Today we are going to see about the topic on mapping herbal trails on WHO and ClinicalTrials.gov. So this is very important. Why I'm saying means while we know this means we can easily track and list what are the clinical herbal trials are takes place in globally. So it is very important topic also.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
Some network interruption happening, sir. So now it is clear, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, sir. So this topic is very important. Why I'm saying man means using this we can identify what are the herbal trails that takes place in global. It is very useful to track the herbal trail based upon these two platforms. So today overview of our session is we are seeing global landscape of herbal medicine, how to register, how they are registered in WHO, ICTRC and ClinicalTrials.gov, and what are the registration quality and completeness of the trial in global standard in the global database, and what are the evidence-based recommendations are recommending to this two platforms are going to see about that. So during your tracking some herbal medicine or in global data means your research question should be based upon the that point of view alone. So if you're doing any research means your research question should be different based upon disease severity, quality of life, likewise. So now we are going to track and mapping the herbal trail in global database. So our research question should be based upon how many herbal trails are registered that like are come, how well their informations are reported, how their information reported and how their quality, and which countries are takes place, which countries are do the study, which herbs are study. So what are the trail, but these are the things are your research question. So in mapping this point of view the research question based upon like that. So the background of context, so mapping background, growing interest. Why, why means the global market of the herbal medicine have high value. So but their claim evidence based claim is very low, so that is one reason. So if you done more research on herbal means it also helpful to grow a market in rapid way. So that is one of the main point of view in growing interest. And second thing is registration imperative. While we registering, we can also avoid the publication bias. Why means some article are registered, some article not registered due to upon the favor of result. Likewise, while we doing the research in starting point itself, you registered means it automatically it will reduce the publication bias, so it will give the quality of standard. So that is the background of the today context. So study objective. So today our primary objective is analyzing, mapping and analyzing. So we are objective in the two trial database. First thing is WHO ICTRP, and second thing is ClinicalTrial.gov. So this is our primary objective. So it should be, before the class itself, what is primary objective? Our primary objective will be direct talk of our research question. What is your research question? That is our primary objective. Our research question is what? How many trials are in registered? How the information is respond? What herbal medicine takes place? Like this. So this is the primary objective. So secondary objective. So we are secondary objective. We have additionally we have more than four or enough. So our secondary objectives are we are going to access the quality. Why we are accessing means to ensure the reliability in trail data and geographical location, how what their disparity takes place, and the intervention outcome measurement approach, how their outcome. Likewise, we are going to access the secondary objective. So methodological framework. So methodological is very important thing while doing the study, any research. So to this point of view, mapping the methodological framework is first search strategy. So why means the search strategy is very important. In previous class itself, we see about lot of thing about how to search and how what are the method used in PubMed. Likewise, so our database. So in search strategy, we know our database. We are going to follow the two only two database alone. So one thing is WHO-ICTRP and another thing is ClinicalTrials.gov. So this is our database selection. So search term development. So we see in next slide very deeply. So search term development is based upon your topic, your area, you are interested, and what you are going, what are the medicine, herbal medicine. That is a search term development based upon that. And temporal scope. Temporal scope is very important. Why I'm saying means we are searching start from first to up to 2023 December. Before we are searching, our timeline period is up to 2023 December. So this is our search term. So search term is very important. If we correct in search term, if we done a great keyword using search term means we will get the quality of result in a very good manner. So our primary terms are herbal medicine. We know that phytotherapy, what are the therapy, phytochemical antioxidant properties. So these are the things that take place in phytotherapy. Botanical, why means the botanical is very important thing. Why means that is the nature of our study, pharmacognosy background. So then alone we will identify the magnetic of the study. So botanical, plant extracts and where they extracts and traditional medicine. Likewise, these are the things are primary term. So secondary terms are complementary medicine. Why means we giving as a supportive care, natural product. What are the medicinal plant and herbal supplement, their property, antitoxin. Likewise, this is our primary and secondary terms. So after our primary secondary term, so there should be in methodology itself, there should be an inclusion and exclusion criteria. So our inclusion criteria should be in three types. One is intervention type, another one is our study design, another one is our population. What our aiming population. So that is we are doing. So in intervention type, we are going to see about main what we want to intervention to should be takes place in what should be come in to the global level. So we want to give the answer, we want to identify the gap, that is the intervention. So identifying our gap in research alone, intervention time. So the major intervention is we don't know in herbal medicine, we don't know plant extract, how to extract, and standardization issue happen. So formulation. So you want to concentrate primary intervention based upon that point of view. So study design. So in herbal medicine, you itself know there should be a low in RCT. So you want to include the RCT. Then only we will get the quality of the data and identify the gap. If you go with the animal study, preclinical study, that is no use. We cannot integrate in the clinical setting purpose. So study design is very important. So randomized control trial. So it means that trial is very low. So if you select a good article from the RCT, mean it is very helpful to run your research idea to top to bottom in a structure way. So RCT, control clinical trial, and observational study. with comparison group. So some are maybe single arm study. Likewise, you want to exclude that. So population, the human population, ages, how, what are the adult, your based upon your study, adult or geriatric. Likewise, you want to on demographic character. These are based upon population. Population mainly used for generability. We means generability about how it also consider this also. So exclusion criteria. So we definitely exclude the preclinical animal study. So we can take that as a example, reference. But human study is very important rather than the preclinical animal study. So we are excluding that. In vitro study, likewise in vitro, case report and case series. These also we excluding. Why means in case report, case series have there is no methodological lack of methodological take place. No, there is no rigorous methodological they follow. They simply take the case from the hospital or any region. They are putting they are publishing the article for their benefit for their doing research, likewise showing up. So the case report and case series also you want to exercise and purely observation study without control use. Before I'm saying single arm study, which means there is without comparison we no need, so we want to exclude that. And in intervention exclusion, synthetical pharmaceutical compound, synthetic, which is differ from the herbal product comparison. Why mean there is synthetically the pharmaceutical compounds are takes place. So we want to avoid that. Medical device also we want to avoid. Dietary intervention also we want. Why means it will confuse the herbal efficacy. So based upon this dietary and herbal compound, confuse the herbal efficacy. So in herbal product itself have a multiple ingredient, but in the basis of dietary and herbal compound, confuse the herbal efficacy. In the basis of dietary intervention, it will give the another point of things. You want to first of all you want to mainly focus on this area. Why means if you exclude the wrong thing in your searching pattern means it will affect your study. So this is exclusion criteria. Another thing is data extraction process. This is what are the other thing in simple way. You are taking what are the article, what are the material you are taking, article material, raw material, you converting them into structured form. You converting them into structured form, and last class final project writing itself you get some idea about data extraction process. So this is the data extraction. So the key element in data extraction, what are the things you want to extract from the data, what are the essential and important things are this trail identification. So registration ID is important, title, registration date, study status, whether they are completed or ongoing or finished. Likewise, you want to say geographical data, which will reveal the disparity globally. So geographical data intervention detail is very important. About then alone we can know the herbal product dosage, administration level, duration, and study population. Very useful for sample size collection, age group, baseline characteristic to consider the baseline characteristic. These are the things and outcome. There should be a primary and secondary outcome and measurement too. So you want to extract these from the mapping article in a herbal medicine. So you want to consider this five thing as a main thing while we are extracting the data. So another thing is quality assessment framework. Why means because the quality is important. Why means if you are doing any review article, systematic critique article, the quality first is speak. If you in less quality, it will not reflect in a good journal database. It will not reflect in a conference paper association. It not get impact of view. So quality is mainly important. So how will you analyze the quality framework? Why mean that is important. Quality important we all, but how do we analyze the quality? How we will be an assessment takes place? So now we are going to see about that. So quality assessment is nothing but your searching clinical trial. Your searching clinical trial should be completed all the checklist line, all completed all the mandatory field. The mandatory field is nothing but the intervention. There is no lack in intervention. There is no lack in description, outcome, sample size, study design. These are the things are that takes place in completeness score. And another score is timing assessment. So timing assessment is very important. Why means the registration, whether prospective. You may see about in upcoming slide whether the registration registered in prospective manner or registration registered in retrospective manner or registration registered in concurrent manner. In upcoming slide, you know about that very much. Why means timing is very important. Whether the study start registered before trial itself, it will give a high impact. Why means they will update every point, every move of the study. So time assessment is very important. And update frequency. Update frequency, if the time based upon time assessment, update frequency will speak. Why means if the study is register in before before start itself, so they will give the every move to the registration. So update frequencies, how they are updating frequently. So how they are updating frequently, that is the frequency update status. So this is the quality assessment framework. Based upon this, you will come to the own quality assessment. So if the article is met this quality, you will select that article and it will be very helpful for your study. So do you want to consider this? Another one is result overview. So we want to see the result overview. So our result overview in trial registered statistic. So total trial, we are considering, we are taking from the two platform alone. So we want to know the statistic. I mean statistic is very important. Then alone it will give the numeric value to the trial. So overall statistic is 2,847 in total trial. So clinical trial is mostly registered in 1,923, and WHO they have 924. So due to the both trials are important, due to their some functionary administration, they have a different vary. So their values are so different. So this is the registration trending over time. How 2005 to 10 the registration trail numbers, and how into 16 to 2000 and 2023 is how. So this is the timeline, increase in moderate and peak, and now a decrease in path likewise. So geographical distribution. So geographical distribution is very important. Then alone we will revise what are the disparity, what are the disparities in geographical location we can identify for their in the point of view of herbal medicine. But in here geographical location, what I'm going to tell means how many countries are takes place their trial, how many country contributing. So US is a developed country, so the lot of trial you itself know the 1,234 trial, 43.4% takes place in US. In China, next to the 398 trial, 14%, and German 260 trial takes place, and UK 1,089 trial, and Iran 156 trial. This is the contribution of country. How they contribute in country based upon their high income country, they will contribute more compared to the low income country. That is a simple logic. So regional research focus. So in last class itself, we see about what are the regional center in the herbal medicine. So you may know. So in global means WHO, regional means there should be a continent-wise region. Likewise, North America have some region, and it should be focused on. Likewise, in herbal medicine itself, we want to know standardization, extract, daily supplement, safety, efficacy, chronic condition. These are the things I want to consider. Why means we have the evidence gap on this area alone. So North America, the regional center. And another thing is European Union. You know about that. Another thing is Asia Pacific contribution. Asia Pacific contribution, India should be also included on that in as a regional focus center. So our major Ayurvedic medicine, likewise, they takes place. So this is the regional research focus area. So study design distribution. So in this trial, you may know how the studies are distribution focused majorly. So majorly is falls upon how they are takes place, and followed by the RCT, how many studies into observational how, and followed by the clinical trial control trial how many. So this is showing that. So majorly they have observational studies alone. So followed by this. So the pace distribution. So you want to know about the what paces are they are stuck in their situation. You want to understand that what paces they should be crossed. Why means that is very important. If they only stuck in the first pace, it's the first pace alone. You want to Yeah, the evidence gap is you want to go move to the your study into phase two. Likewise, you want to move that. So the pace distribution is very important. So based upon pace distribution, you can get idea about herbal medicine, how to improve that, what are the evidence gap you want to fill. So that is a pace distribution play major role. So pace one. Phase 2 pay major low. They have 34 percentage clinical herbal trials that takes place, and followed by phase 3 there should be a 28, and phase 1 22 percentage, and some in pace itself, pace 1 pace 2 pace 3 itself, some data should be missed, some they should be exclude, they are incomplete. So these are the non-specific regions are 16 percentage takes place. So sample size analysis. So this is our sample size, our mapping, tracking sample size, participant demography. So in our mapping, the adult study, 18 to 65 age should be based upon 67 percentage they are covering, and the elder population they are covering 18 percentage of the studies are takes place in the elder population. So mixed age between 18 to 65 and over the 65, the mixed combination of the above both is 12 percentage, and pediatric very less. You know about the reason why the pediatric very less, because of their safety concern, and there is no supporting in human study. Likewise, so they have a low risk. You itself you get an idea about that. Based upon this participant demography, you can choose wisely participant. Why means in 18 to 65 percentage means we can get the patient recruitment in very high manner. So we can get the a large number of the patient also. So think on that while we selecting the patient demography detail. So most study, yeah, we know a lot of example and case study also we study last class itself. So the Zingo Bilopo study takes place in 66 sorry 267 trial takes place in ginkgo biloba state on cognitive function and circulation, and turmeric study that should be a 334 trials focusing. So the turmeric study last class itself, you know, inflammation, pain management, and ginseng species 198 trials are takes. You can easily understand how many trail you can easily track. It is very useful. So you follow the before slide, and when you finishing this session, you can easily map the herbal medicine. In not only herbal medicine, in clinical trial also they follow this idea alone. So it can easily for knowledge gaining for you alone. While you concentrating on these topics, you can get more idea and more innovation on your mind. So these are the engineering basic trail, and HNOCIAS is 156 trail takes place. So these are the numeric numbers, how many trails, and most of the trail is where. So we are giving the levels on that first to second two three four. So therapeutic area focus. What are your therapeutic area focus? In majorly we are going to see. So the primary therapeutic focus on herbal medicine is covered by the cardiovascular disease, and followed by neurological, immunological, metabolic, respiratory, and gastrointestinal. So low in gastrointestinal. Why means, you know, herbal medicine mostly they have a rapid absorption. So based upon that, the gastrointestinal studies flow. So this is the focusing area. So starting from highest region is cardiovascular. So you can get idea from that which research you can take and which should be focused. What is the identity evidence gap on this study? You can easily analyze using this therapeutic primary therapeutic focus area itself. So outcome measurements and analysis. So it is very important. It means some outcomes are unnecessary outcome they are measured and they will publish, that also give the miscommunication or mislead the study those who are taking. So outcome measurement should be in large cast report. We know your outcome should be a primary, you have a primary endpoint and secondary endpoint, which should be in PRO, patient reported to. Likewise, you want to give the full effect on the outcome measurement. So your physiological measurement based upon your intervention, 45 percentage of the primary outcome in physiological measurement alone. So like in blood pressure comparison, the lipid profile, glucose level, inflammatory biomarker. Likewise, and likewise PR, PRO, primary patient report outcome. So using 38 percentage endpoints that takes place on that quality of life scale, symptoms, severity, score, functional assessment, how they are using your MSPR. So the patient report outcome is very important thing while doing any if you're doing any if you're a final year students or any student, you should add the PRO on your study also. It will give the weightage to your thesis also, your final year project also. So laboratory parameter. So based upon the outcome assessment, lab requirements, 70% are take place in biomarker alone. So we means the biomarker biological base we can identify the magnetic of the herbal medicine. So the biomarker, enzyme level, pharmacokinetic measure. So these are gives a very add-on value to the research. So this is so study duration pattern. So most of the study short term, the major drawback itself, herbal medicine have a short term study alone. There is no long follow up. So in short term study, lesser than 4 weeks, 789 trials are takes place in acute condition and safety assessment, followed by 1 to 6 months, the 1,223 trails that takes place. Long term, more than 6 months, 824 trails. So more than 6 months. So they are in only in the midterm alone. So more than 6 months also is a very in a few number alone. 824 trail is very low. This is the overall registration on the WHO and clinical. So it will showing very low. So funding research. So this is showing you in pie chart as well. You will get idea how what is the institutional how they are funding, government how they are funding, company how they are funding, academics how they are funding. You can get the idea. This is the funding nature in the herbal medicine. Compared to the normal drug clinical trial, herbal medicine have low funding alone. You may know about detail about. So due to the return on investment is low. So registration quality assessment. So before itself we see quality assessment. So we are now going to see about the registration quality assessment. So complete registration. So you can identify based upon that. So previous slide itself we see the registration quality assessment. So that should be a three type: complete registration, update frequency, and timing assessment. Timing assessment. So based upon this is we can calculate. So complete registration, you want to complete all the mandatory field. So 78% of the studies are complete. Partial completed, minor omission, minor addition, missing data. Likewise, there are 16 page, 16%. Incomplete side, missing essential information. So there should be a major drawback or major intervention in outcome measurement, major question in primary endpoint itself, primary objective itself. So there should be a 6% incomplete study. So incomplete study itself, you want to think that there should be a major missing element takes place. So 6%. This is the overall completeness of herbal medicine trial in these two database. So common registration deficiency. What is the deficiency means? Intervention description. So you can get the idea incomplete study. You can get the idea from this itself. Why the registration deficiency? Why the incomplete happened? This is the answer for that. So intervention description. So lack of intervention description. Why means we know we not confident about standardization. So there should be without standardization detail, it also offered. So standardization. Another thing is extraction methods also. We have a lack on that. And active component. So there should be a multi-active component. So these are the things are mainly in and discrepancy takes place in intervention. Outcome measurement. So 80% of poorly primary out endpoint. So we are conducting very poor, simple. We are doing a simple research, simple language. So there's no impact on primary instead. We are doing a very simple manner. So poorly coordinating the primary endpoint, missing measurement, likewise outcome measurement. These are affect our study completeness. Another one is sample size justification. So low, no power means we will get the low average on the result alone. So the power is very important in sample size justification. So that is a 34% are based upon that alone. So the patient recruitment, if you are doing any research, the patient recruitment is very important thing. So if you have a large number of patient recruitment, you easily get the power, statistical power. So it also very useful calculating using analyzing the SAP. Likewise, we can use that. So this is a common registration deficiency. So platform comparing the data quality. So ClinicalTrials.gov and another thing is WHO-ICRTC. So it is based upon clinical trial based upon North America region US. So WHO is based upon the international network. So it is so you may know what is ICTRP. ICTRP is nothing but I stand for international, C stand for clinical, T stand for trial. So R stand for registration, P stand for platform. So this is a WHO ICTRP. So compared to based upon these two, the clinical trial government have a high completion rate, a high complementary. So they have a high quality of data. So compared to intervention group, this is the comparison based upon that. So UI, some registration have lack in WHO ICDRC. So that alone showing low quality data on that. We means in clinical trial dot government is it should be a rigorous and a very strict registration and administration purpose should be followed. So based upon that alone, the quality data should be differ. So prospective versus retrospective registration. So in quality assessment itself, there should be a timing assessment you take. Quality assessment framework, that should be happen timing assessment. So here's the answer for timing assessment. So this is very important. Then alone we know whether when the study is taken and when is dropped and when is going on. So using that alone we know. You know about prospective. You know meaning about that. So prospective is the current. So registered before the study commencement, we are registering the study. So we are going to do some research, we are registering before itself. So concurrent studying is nothing but we will take we will make all the framework for the study and we also follow. So we are registering during the patient recruitment stage. That is a concurrent. Retrospective is nothing but we complete all the study. Then we are registering to the WHO and clinical trial result. This is the prospective versus retrospective registration in the trial. So study distribution. So current study status, completed status are the should be 1,456 trials are completed. Recruiting, recruitment in this slide itself, concurrent study. So recruitment is 623 trials are going. So active but not recruiting. So there are 398 trials terminated. They are terminated with withdraw studies. Are they are this is how we know means if in prospective trial the person in prospective trial the person registered mean we can easily know the termination withdraw and active not recruitment. Likewise we can easily understand. So if they register in large point of view means we cannot know whether the trial is terminate or withdraw. So it's very well to register first in prospective study itself, so we can reduce the publication bias. So that is a thing. We can easily identify also what is terminated, what is withdraw, what is the method that affect the study. You can easily understand, and it will help for your study also. What is their mistake, you can learn from that. So that is a terminate and withdraw study. And what study is suspended is suspended by regulatory authority. Likewise, there is any major deviation protocol, any major deviation in side effect. Likewise, unknown. So unknowns, they withdraw for no reason, based upon my reasons are funding or patient requirement. Likewise, we can understand unknown is 47 tribe. So reason for termination, the major first thing is patient recruitment. So followed by that alone, the major thing is patient recruitment. So if you focus on correcting patient recruitment itself, you will success the half of the study on that. Following the from that, the patient recruitment is major thing on that. So regulatory landscape in cap. So we know what are the major regulatory. So FDA, UMA, and WHO. These are the major. When you doing their state, we want to get the approval from that. So botanical drug, lot of we know about previous session itself. So this is the regulatory authority in simple point of view. So based upon the FDA, they have a similar rules. EMA, they have a similar rule. WHO, they have a similar rule. So difference the law and different country and different regulatory in our global manner. So key finding. So in key finding, so herbal medicine clinical trials are increased. That alone we can say in key finding itself. So, growing research activity is increasing, and global distribution it also contributing, spreading to 67 countries are conducting the herbal trial. So diverse intervention is nothing but wide range of herbal product study. So wide we know the herbal product studies are how they are takes place, wide range of herbal product used upon that wide range intervention, diverse intervention takes place, multiple therapeutic area focus, we are focusing on more therapeutic area. Before studies of herbal cancer, in cancer itself there should be a major subclass subgroup. Simultaneously we are studying two types. Likewise, multiple we are focusing multiple therapeutic area, variability quality. So variable quality is one of the thing, the information gap variability, nothing but information gap. So these are the things want to rectify while we give the completeness value on that. So this is a normal key finding, a summary of the above study. So challenges as identified. So major challenges, standardization issue. So the lack of standardization, there is no analytical procedure, how to know. So these things are takes place. The major is a standardization issue. And second thing is outcome heterogeneity is nothing but inconsistency outcome measure. So inconsistency you're measuring the poor endpoint, lack of PRO, likewise poor endpoint. So requirement difficulty. So we are based upon you in previous graph itself, the major of the study withdraw study of termination due to the patient requirement alone. So why the low impact person recruitment, very know about now. The why means we have no have a evidence, corrective evidence or any uh, strong evidence on that. So this also affect the recruitment difficulty. Why means we cannot put the patient into trouble. So that also one thing. Another is regulatory complexity. Different country, different laws takes place. So these also things are the major research challenges. So intervention standardization gap. So current problem is inadequate botanical identification. So the botanical identification, species, whether which group, which family. So that is inadequate identification. Due to there have a no, if we take the drug means we have a monograph on that. So we can easily get the monograph top to bottom, which should be released by the FTA. Likewise, we can easily get. So that is inadequate botanical problem. We want to overcome this, focus on the missing extraction methodology. So the proper methodology extraction missing, lack of standardization biomarker, quality data, control data also missing. So this is a major thing, current problem we are facing on that. So impact, which is impact on research is based upon this problem alone, we cannot reproduce we cannot use as a parent article for another research. We have lot of current problem on one research paper. How we can use researcher doing as a second research or doing another research on same pattern. So that is a reduced reproducibility, limited meta-analysis potential. Why means meta-analysis, very important thing. It will give the multiple study in a single or conclusion on that. So my limited meta-analysis. So regulatory approval challenges, clinical translation difficulty. So these are the major things that takes place. So outcome measurement inconsistency. So why outcome measurement inconsistency means you want to consider why you want to know whether why you want to came to your mind. Scale diversity. Scale diversity is nothing but using same scale, using multiple scale for same condition. Multiple scale for for example, if I have a pain, I'm doing study in osteoarthritis. Means if I have a pain, I want to I want to use the tool like pain severity means use VAS scale or OMAC scale or other than simple pain scale. So if you use the one scale means it's enough for your study. But using multiple scale for one symptom means it should be give the mislead to our study and symptoms. So this also very lack on that. Why means it will give the lackness in our study. Why means it also we are doing a we are analyzing same thing using one scale itself, and we also using another scale for you analyzing same pattern. So this is the major thing, scale diversity. And timing variation. Why means timing variation? The pain, I have today have no pain, tomorrow I will have pain, day after tomorrow I have no pain, or other day have a severe pain. So the time point is very important. So inconsistent time means it will not give the correct result. Why means it some patient have relapse takes place, whether to withdraw the drug, whether to readministration the drug. Using this time variation alone we can know that. So that is one thing. Inconsistency, validation issue, you know about that. There is no accurate analytical method should be followed. Validating issue, endpoint selection, you very well know about that. Primary endpoint poor, primary endpoint, secondary endpoint PR poor. So this is the outcome measurement inconsistency. So regional disparity, you know, in first previous slide itself, country contribution itself, you can get idea about that. So high income country focus on more research, the better quality, you know, US like country, US, UK, EMA. So middle income countries are China, Iraq, German. So that is low income country. We also takes place India, like countries are limited participation, limited quality of clinical trial standard. So this is a regional disparities. So recommendation. So registration quality improvement. So we want to register. We want to improve the quality of registration in WHO and also in clinical register. So mandatory training. So if you're doing any researcher, if you researcher are doing any researcher related to herbal product, herbal medicine means, so mandatory training should be given to them. Whether why means it will help the researcher to complete all the mandatory field in registration. So mandatory training, enhance validation. So develop auto validation. Why means why I say what I'm saying means, if you register one thing in the registration itself, it is not validate means you can easily get idea. So it is not validating. We want to give the alternate idea. We want to give the alternate way to the study. So it easily we can give the result very fastly also to the researcher. They can give the alternate way on that. So enhance validation, regular audit. So you want to systematically audit the registration. So how the register update the frequency of the status. So regular audit is very important. So based upon this thing, we can develop the herbal trail in a large manner. So these are the things in registration quality improvement. So another thing is standardization initiatives. Standardization initiative is nothing but checklist. You simply want to remember the checklist. So consent herbal extension or intervention template or core outcome setup is three things are in same line alone. That is checklist. So we want to give the checklist to the researcher. You want, for example, consent extent for herbal intervention means, there is there should be a checklist. There should be a 13 specific item. So if you, for example, I'm saying, if you're doing any systematic review means, you want to get the Prisma guidelines. Prisma guidelines. You want to fill all the specific checklist which will given by the Prisma. Which will given by the Prisma. You want to fill that. After that, you will get the registration and you it will give weightage to your study and you will get published the article. So that is like consent herbal exception or intervention template. Core outcomes are the useful for checklist. Why means if you using checklist means you usually analyze and rectify the what your mistake, what are the missing things, and it will also give boost up the standardization in clinical trial. So that is a checklist in simple language. So regulatory harmonization. So regulatory how the regulatory harmonization takes place. So their main motto is giving high quality of data a trial registration worldwide. You want to think one thing, the regulatory trying to give the high quality of trial registration worldwide. So major thing one is international guidelines or cross-platform transformation, regulatory trial act. These are the harmonization factor. So major thing you want to consider different norms. So it will give different norms and rule. It will give the inconsistency in registration to follow that. So while we going to international guidelines, ICH, in you know about that in clinical trial, ICH is takes main important thing. And WHO is a global regulation we can identify. So cross-platform standardization, I think, but collab of all different in one group, that is collaboration. So collaboration of these things, it give address to the gap of our study. So collaboration of these two international guidelines or WHO, ICHO or any regulatory standard, this collab will give gain to identify, address the gap. So that is using a joint meeting on that, giving training onto the researchers. That is a regulatory dialogue. So giving the communication to regulatory researcher is a manager. Likewise, this is a regulatory harmonization. So capacity building priority. So research in infrastructure. So start from the low income country. We want to support and funding. Low means in low income country alone, they have a huge research on herbal medicine. So if you're doing research in high income country, there should be a lack of resource about herbal medicine. So the benefit of people is also very low. If you do in middle income country or low income country, the benefit of people are from the long decade they are using. So we can identify it will also use for polymorphism, genetic polymorphism, variation study, very important on pharmacogenomic. So it will give the way to these kind of the things using that is a research in infrastructure. So knowledge translation, so user friendly registration apart from the rigorous severe, use the give a user friendly registration guide in a multi language resources, not only in English, for their own language in India, Hindi, other regional language. In German they have German language. China have their local language. Likewise, multi language resources. Established a mentors network. Likewise, regional center. Likewise, we want to give the mentors work how they are contributing on that. We it will give to build the building capacity. So technology enhancement. So automatic quality check, it's nothing but validating, auto validating. While we in registration using AI, we can identify the what are the deficiency and we are under rejecting. And after they are submitting and we are approving using that auto quality check. Platform integration, nothing but integration of data, integration of combining data. So it can usually for data sharing. It also visible to the research to understand what the data are contributing in the current study. So data sharing is main important. Platform integration enhance the research. So it give the way to enhance research based upon this technology algorithm. Using algorithm search, nothing but natural language process. In first session itself we know about what is natural language process. So based upon adapting that natural language process, we are doing that thing. So study limitation. So methodological limitation. So in study limitation, the search strategy constraint is nothing but non-English are not morely in access in a database. We mean in major database there should be focus upon on English language alone. So the non-English regional language they have about herbal medicine data, procedure, methodological. So it will give the limitation to searching methodological and classification challenges nothing but they have a different country different law, so they have a different classification based upon the categorization. So that is one of the point of view. So dynamic data, some data should be updated and some data should be deleted. So we cannot know we cannot know whether the data is correct or not. So dynamic will be takes place overly timely dependent data. So this is are the limitation takes place on that. So classification challenge dynamic data. So these are the limitation. So future research priorities is nothing but outcome standardization. We want to first of all focus on outcome standardization. Why means we while we focus on outcome itself, we can know about extraction, how well different procedure we can follow. Likewise we can understand quality assessment too. So we want to identify the quality assessment tool, nothing but checklist before consent. WHO in previous slide itself we learn about what is consent extension for herbal intervention. Likewise quality assessment tool is very important. And cross platform analysis, nothing is a collab of ICH WHO. Likewise it will collab, will give it address the gap and global registration mapping, how to register globally and what are the things should be followed, and like user friendly guide. So that is a global registration mapping, how to complete the register, how to complete the mandatory field, likewise. So implication for practice for the researcher. So based upon the researcher and the regulatory and clinician. So for researcher, it should be in the word itself, comprehensive registration before the study initiation is essential for research credibility and regulatory acceptance. So this word, what's going to say means you want to research prospective registration. Before start study itself, you want to register that. So that will give the more weightage to the study readies, publication bias, likewise take place. So regulatory, so giving collapse, giving using user friendly. Likewise, of the these thing will, and in regulator also address the uh, what are the gap on that for for clinician. So better register the quality, enable more information, clinical decision making about intervention, about a herbal interventions, nothing but giving the more related data for the clinician. You itself, so lack of in clinical integration takes place in herbal medicine. So for clinician, better for registration to give the quality data on that. So we based upon this research background, so we can get the clinical decision making about herbal intervention. We are give more knowledge to the takes place in clinical integration also. So that is a for clinician. So today conclusion, that is, point of view, this is how to map and what are the regulatory constraint you are taking place, what are the quality assessment framework you want to follow, how to we are contributing that. That is the thing. So conclusion is up to you. The conclusion part is you alone. So what's your understanding from this session? How you are going to implement your idea to upcoming your work or your knowledge? That is a conclusion for this session. So usually you are usually take this session as a identifying your knowledge to gain to how to map the research article and how to do that. Based upon you can get idea on that. So this session is very helpful for you. So upcoming session also, tomorrow also we have a session on based upon this mapping session, followed by the second session. So upcoming session also, you maybe you come and participate, you also gain knowledge through our Swalite Biotech. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the um, session, Dr. Sriharan. There are a couple of questions from my side. So
Okay, sir.
when we are comparing the platforms, ClinicalTrial.gov or WHO, uh,
Mm.
means which platform should we prefer when it comes to the herbal drug registration?
Why means which platform we want to prefer means clinical trial government.gov.com we can prefer. Why means it give the high quality of the data takes place in there alone. So compared to WHO, in the clinical trial statistic yourself, you can know more than 2,900 cases, major 1,500 cases are based upon clinical trial registration alone. So you based upon their clinical trial government registration, you can get the more quality of data on that compared to WHO. So WHO is also ICRT is also, I think it should be in globally manner. So based upon their rigorous registration and clinical trial government.com, so based upon their administration purpose and their next level on that, so we are choosing the clinicaltrial.com. Compared to both are a good platform for gaining knowledge about any, if you are starting doing any research on that, you're doing any meta-analysis or you're doing a systematic review. So both platform is very useful for the in student point of view.
Okay. And when you mention about the different registrations,
Yes.
prospective or concurrent, or so
Uh,
with the herbal one, many time what happens that the compounds or the herbs are already in the market, and we are
mm,
actually observing the case studies, or we are observing the patients. At that time, many time what happens, they are registered as a retrospective, right? But
Yes, sir.
but at the end you mentioned that you should actually register the study before commencement. So what
Ah,
is your view on this?
yeah, sir. My view on this means if you register before study itself, it will give the weightage to your study. Why I'm saying means if you start the
Mhm.
research registered before doing trial as a prospective research means uh, in the point of view you have any lackness or in the point of view any requirement any difficulty means it will be registered on that. So
Okay.
if the trail has been started, it should be based upon these are the things. So the trails are stuck on this thing. So it will useful for other one to reduce the mistake what you are done on that. So before prospective study itself, you can also learn more things. So next you are doing, you can get clear way on that. So in retrospective concurrent study also very nice. Why I'm saying means you are giving a full framework about the research, and after that you are registering on the point of view of patient recruitment you are going to register that. So prospective and concurrents are same thing alone. So before patient recruitment we are registering in a prospective manner. So in after when the patient recruitment is coming we are registering in the concurrent manner. So retrospecting is nothing but we are completing all the study. So we are completing all the study. So if the study is not favorable upon our means, we not publish that. Why means the study is not have great impact on ourselves, so we cannot find or publish that. So it will what make means it will give the publication bias alone. So only favorable research article alone published means it will give the publication bias. So prospective concurrent registration is very best to reduce the publication bias.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification, and thank you for the session. Thank you, Dr. Shriran, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.